What if the Axis powers had triumphed in World War II? Imagine a world where the Iron Curtain descends not just across Europe, but envelopes the globe. In this alternate reality, the United States, once a beacon of freedom, becomes a fragmented collection of territories, each ruled by oppressive regimes. The space race? A battle for dominance between fascist ideologies, with humanity's future hanging in the balance. Or consider a timeline where the Roman Empire never fell, its influence stretching into the modern age, shaping our languages, laws, and cultures. Would democracy as we know it even exist? Every choice, every twist of fate, creates ripples through time, leading us to question our own history. What if the great inventions of our past were never realized? What if the Renaissance never happened? Each scenario unfolds like a tapestry, rich with possibilities, urging us to explore the fragility of our reality. In this labyrinth of imagine a world where Japan, not just focused on the Pacific, turned its eyes towards Africa during World War II. In this alternate timeline, the Japanese Imperial Navy sails through the Indian Ocean, establishing bases along the East African coast. They forge alliances with local leaders, promising independence from colonial powers in exchange for military support. With their advanced technology, they disrupt British supply lines, creating chaos in the region. The Battle of Madagascar becomes a pivotal moment, where Japanese forces, alongside African allies, challenge the Allies' grip on the Indian Ocean. As resources flow from Africa to Japan, the Axis powers gain a strategic foothold, altering the balance of power. The repercussions ripple across continents, leading to a prolonged conflict that reshapes global alliances. In this alternate history, Africa becomes a battleground not just for survival, but for a new world order, where the ambitions of an empire clash with the aspirations of a continent. Imagine a world where Japan, instead of attacking Pearl Harbor, forms an alliance with Russia in 1941. As the Axis powers advance, Tokyo and Moscow unite, pooling their resources and military might. The combined forces launch a surprise offensive against German troops in Eastern Europe, shifting the balance of power. With Japan's naval prowess and Russia's vast land army, they push westward, liberating occupied territories and rallying local resistance movements. The West, caught off guard, scrambles to respond. The Allies, now facing a formidable Eastern Front, must reconsider their strategies. This alliance not only alters the course of the war, but also reshapes post-war geopolitics. A new Iron Curtain emerges, stretching from Berlin to the Pacific, as Japan and Russia carve out their spheres of influence. The world watches in awe as history takes a dramatic turn, forever changing the landscape of international relations. Imagine a world where World War II didn't just ignite conflict, but also sparked an unprecedented technological revolution. As the Allies and Axis powers raced for supremacy, they stumbled upon breakthroughs that would leapfrog humanity into the cosmos. By 1945, jet propulsion technology was not just a military asset, it became the foundation for early space exploration. The V-2 rocket, initially designed for warfare, evolved into a vehicle capable of reaching the edge of space. Scientists like Wernher von Braun, once focused on bombs, turned their sights to the stars, envisioning a future where humans could walk on the moon. With the war's end, instead of a Cold War, we witnessed a space race fueled by collaboration. The United States and Germany, once bitter enemies, joined forces to establish the first lunar base by the 1960s. Imagine astronauts from both nations planting flags side by side, united in the quest for knowledge. This alternate timeline not only reshaped geopolitics, but also inspired generations to dream beyond our planet, igniting a passion for science and exploration that would define the latter half of the 20th century. The cosmos became our new frontier, all thanks to a war that, in this reality, became the catalyst for unity and discovery. Imagine a world where, instead of reaching for the stars, humanity turned its gaze inward, plunging into the depths of our planet. Picture the year 1969, not with astronauts on the moon, but with scientists and explorers gearing up for a journey to the Earth's core. We'd harness geothermal energy, creating a new era of sustainable power. Cities would thrive on heat from below, while underground ecosystems flourish, revealing bizarre life forms adapted to darkness and pressure. As we dig deeper, we'd uncover rewriting our understanding of Earth's history. The journey would be fraught with challenges: extreme temperatures, crushing pressure, and the risk of volcanic eruptions. But the thrill of discovery would drive us forward. Imagine the stories told by those who ventured where no one had before, returning with tales of glowing magma rivers and crystalline caverns. This alternate history would redefine exploration, not as a quest for the cosmos, but as a journey to the very heart of our planet. In an alternate history where Japan's rise in robotics during World War II took a different turn, imagine a battlefield where mechanized soldiers outnumbered their human counterparts. By 1942, Japan had developed advanced autonomous drones, capable of reconnaissance and precision strikes, changing the dynamics of warfare. These robots, powered by cutting-edge technology, could adapt to enemy tactics in real time, making them formidable opponents. The Imperial Army, equipped with robotic infantry, could launch assaults with unprecedented efficiency. Factories churned out these machines at an astonishing rate, while engineers worked tirelessly to enhance their capabilities. The psychological impact on Allied forces was profound. Facing an enemy that combined human ingenuity with mechanical precision created a new kind of fear. As the war progressed, Japan's focus on robotics not only shifted the tide of battle, but also sparked a technological revolution. Innovations in AI and automation laid the groundwork for post-war advancements, leading to a society where robotics became integral to everyday life. This alternate timeline paints a picture of a world where the fusion of man and machine. Imagine a world where, instead of the devastation of World War II, nations turned their focus to bioengineering. As the war raged on, scientists in secret labs began to unlock the mysteries of genetics, creating enhanced soldiers with superior strength and resilience. By 1945, the battlefield was no longer defined by tanks and bombs, but by the power of the human genome. Countries raced to develop bioengineered crops that could withstand harsh climates, ensuring food security for their populations. Imagine a Europe where famine was a distant memory, thanks to genetically modified grains that thrived in the most inhospitable soils. As the war drew to a close, the arms race transformed into a race for knowledge. Nations collaborated, sharing breakthroughs in biotechnology, leading to medical advancements that eradicated diseases like polio and tuberculosis. The post-war era became a golden age of innovation, where humanity harnessed biology to enhance life itself. In this alternate timeline, the legacy of World War II is not one of destruction, but of a united effort to push the boundaries of science, creating a healthier, more resilient world. Imagine a world where steam technology never faded into obscurity, where the clanking of pistons and the hissing of steam powered the mightiest war machines of World War II. Instead of tanks rolling on rubber tracks, we see armored behemoths chugging along on iron wheels, fueled by coal and ingenuity. The skies are filled with steam-powered bombers, their massive propellers slicing through clouds, leaving trails of vapor in their wake. Soldiers march into battle, clad in uniforms adorned with brass fittings, their weapons firing steam-driven projectiles with devastating accuracy. In this alternate history, the race for technological supremacy takes a different turn. The Axis powers harness the power of steam to create relentless warships that dominate the oceans, while the Allies scramble to innovate, developing hybrid machines that blend steam with emerging technologies. Every battle is a spectacle of engineering prowess, where strategy is dictated not just by tactics, but by the limitations and strengths of steam. The war drags on, a brutal contest of endurance, as nations pour resources into maintaining their steam engines, creating a unique stalemate that reshapes alliances and redraws borders. In this world, the Industrial Revolution never truly ended. It evolved into a new age of steam, where the echoes of the past resonate through the clamor of war. In a world where World War II unfolded without firearms, the battlefield became a brutal arena of melee combat. Soldiers clad in heavy armor clashed with swords, axes, and spears, their every move a dance of life and death. The roar of engines was replaced by the clash of steel, as tanks transformed into mobile fortresses, their crews relying on sheer strength and strategy. Nations forged alliances not just through diplomacy, but through the mastery of martial skills. Training camps became the heart of every nation, where warriors honed their abilities in hand-to-hand combat and weaponry. The art of war evolved, Tactics shifted from long-range engagements to close-quarter skirmishes, where bravery and skill determined the victor. Sieges turned into epic struggles, with ladders and grappling hooks replacing artillery. Cities became fortresses, their walls echoing with the sounds of battle cries and the thud of heavy boots. In this alternate reality, the valor of knights and the discipline of samurais reigned supreme, reminding us that sometimes the might of the sword can shape the course of history just as profoundly as the bullet. Imagine a world where the seas of World War II were ruled not by aircraft carriers or battleships, but by colossal floating cities, each a behemoth of steel and fire. These leviathans, bristling with artillery and housing entire battalions, transformed naval warfare into a spectacle of might and strategy. Picture the Battle of the Atlantic, where these gargantuan vessels clashed, their decks bustling with soldiers and sailors, while aircraft launched from their rooftops like swarms of hornets. In this alternate history, the fate of nations hinged on the outcome of these titanic sea battles. The sheer scale of these ships redefined naval tactics. They could withstand torpedo strikes and unleash devastating barrages that reshaped coastlines. As they lumbered through the waves, their presence alone could shift the balance of power, instilling fear in enemy hearts. Each battle became a grand chess match, with commanders orchestrating maneuvers that would echo through history. The ocean was no longer just a battlefield. It was a stage for the ultimate showdown of human ingenuity and ambition, where the line between man and machine blurred in the pursuit of victory. In the swirling mists of time, imagine a world where the fierce samurai of Japan, clad in their ornate armor, sail across the tempestuous seas to confront the legendary Vikings. As the sun sets, their katana glints with the promise of honor, while the Norsemen, with their battle axes raised high, roar with the ferocity of thunder. These warriors, bound by their codes of honor, clash not just for land, but for the very essence of their cultures. The samurai, masters of discipline and strategy, wield their blades with precision, while the Vikings, fueled by their thirst for glory, unleash a storm of chaos. Each strike echoes the tales of their ancestors, one side seeking to uphold the way of Bushido, the other, the valor of the shield wall. In this epic confrontation, the sea becomes a battleground, where honor and ferocity intertwine, and legends are born. What if the tides of fate had turned, and these two worlds collided? The clash of steel, the cries of warriors, and the legacy of two great cultures would forever be etched in the annals of history. Imagine if the Vikings had never set sail for the shores of North America, but instead turned their ships towards the Mediterranean. Picture this: Norse warriors, with their longships cutting through the waves, arrive in the bustling markets of Constantinople. They trade not just furs and timber, but also their fierce warrior culture, blending with Byzantine art and philosophy. As they settle, they adopt new technologies, perhaps even the secrets of Greek fire. Over time, these Viking settlers become influential merchants, creating a powerful trade network that rivals the Silk Road. Instead of raiding, they become diplomats, forging alliances with local powers. By the time Columbus set sail, the Vikings have already established a thriving empire in the south, reshaping the course of European history. The age of exploration might have been led by Norse explorers, changing the narrative of discovery forever. What if the world we know today was built on Viking trade routes instead of conquest? In a world where the fierce Vikings and the disciplined samurai unite, a new dynasty emerges, blending the best of both cultures. Picture longships sailing alongside cherry blossom trees, warriors clad in chainmail and armor, wielding katanas and axes with unmatched skill. This dynasty thrives on honor and valor, where the Viking spirit of exploration meets the samurai code of Bushido. Imagine the great halls filled with tales of conquest, where sagas of Odin intertwine with the wisdom of Confucius. Trade routes flourish, connecting the icy fjords of Scandinavia to the serene temples of Japan, creating a vibrant exchange of ideas, art, and technology. In this realm, the battlefield becomes a canvas, where Viking ferocity and samurai precision create a new form of warfare, blending tactics and strategies that redefine honor in combat. This is not just a clash of swords, it's a fusion of philosophies, creating a legacy that echoes through time, a dynasty that stands as a testament to the power of unity and respect across cultures. In a world where history took a different turn, imagine a castle rising majestically from the earth, built by a civilization long forgotten. This fortress, crafted from shimmering stones and intricate carvings, tells tales of an advanced society that mastered not just architecture, but also the elements. Its walls, thick and resilient, were designed to withstand the fiercest of storms and the mightiest of sieges. Inside, vast halls echo with the laughter of scholars and the whispers of philosophers, where knowledge was revered as the highest treasure. Gardens flourished with exotic plants, cultivated for their medicinal properties, while the castle's towers reached for the heavens, symbolizing humanity's unyielding quest for enlightenment. But what if this civilization had thrived? Would we have seen an age of peace, where art and science flourished hand in hand? Or would the castle have become a battleground for power, a stark reminder of ambition's darker side? Each stone holds secrets, each shadow a story, inviting us to ponder the paths not taken in our own history. In an alternate history where the seas carried a lone Viking warrior to a remote island off the coast of Japan, a fateful duel unfolded between the Norse invader and a samurai guardian. The Viking, clad in furs and wielding a heavy broadaxe, faced the samurai, armored in lacquered plates and armed with a razor-sharp katana, on a windswept beach framed by jagged cliffs. As waves crashed and gulls screamed overhead, the two clashed, steel sparking as the Vikings' brute strength met the samurai's disciplined precision. The island trembled with each blow, a crucible of cultures where honor and ferocity danced in a brutal, fleeting spectacle, ending with the samurai's swift strike felling the Norsemen, leaving only the sea to whisper their tale.